In the ancient, mist-shrouded corners of the United Kingdom, history isn't just written in books, it lingers in the very stone, whispering tales of forgotten lives. Tonight, we invite you to step beyond the veil of the mundane, into opulent hotels and time-worn inns where shadows breathe and the past refuses to rest. Prepare yourself, for we embark on a chilling journey through the UK's most haunted establishments, where every creak and every unseen touch might be a resident from another time, eager to make your acquaintance. 15. The Georgian House Hotel, London, England. Beneath the perpetually grey skies of London, where centuries of whispers cling to aged stone, stands the Georgian House Hotel, a seemingly innocuous facade nestled amidst Pimlico's historic charm. Yet, within its Victorian elegance, an endless game of mischief unfolds, orchestrated by the spectral hand of a child spirit whose playful antics belie a deeper, more unsettling presence. Guests, often lulled by the hotel's traditional comforts, quickly find themselves ensnared in inexplicable occurrences. Objects shift subtly on bedside tables. Doors left ajar are found mysteriously closed, and the very air in certain rooms grows heavy, as if an unseen playmate watches from the shadows. A soft, rhythmic creaking sometimes echoes from antique floorboards when no living soul treads them, followed by the faint, almost melodic sound of a distant giggle, a sound that, while childlike, holds a profound, unsettling quality. There are reports of sudden, inexplicable chills that sweep through hallways, icy tendrils brushing against the skin as if an invisible hand reaches out, or a fleeting pressure felt upon one's arm, a phantom touch in the quiet hours. This mischievous spirit, often perceived as a young boy or girl, delights in moving personal belongings or making its presence known with playful pushes and shoves. Yet the underlying current is not one of innocent fun. Rather, it's the persistent or tireless energy of something forever bound, forever playing, forever demanding attention. One might dismiss these as mere tricks of the mind or the eccentricities of an old building. But as the night deepens and the last streetlights outside cast long, skeletal shadows, one can't help but wonder, is this playful spirit truly benign? Or is its ceaseless game a veil for a deeper, more profound haunting? Does its endless play conceal a child lost in time, or a more malevolent entity using a guise of innocence to lure its next unwitting participant into a game from which there is no escape? 14. The Dalhousie Castle Hotel, Bonnyrigg, Scotland. From the heart of Scotland's ancient lands, where the very stones hum with centuries of forgotten lore, rises the Dalhousie Castle Hotel. More than 800 years of history are etched into its formidable walls, each whispering of lost loves and enduring sorrow. None more poignant than the tale of Lady Catherine. Her lonely spirit, a perpetual spectre, is said to drift through the labyrinthine corridors and linger in the chilling confines of the dungeon cells, forever searching for a peace that eludes her. Guests speak of a translucent figure, draped in archaic gowns, her face a canvas of profound sadness, gliding silently through the castle's opulent yet faded grandeur. Her eyes, sunken and sorrowful, seem to absorb all light, reflecting an unending tragedy that defies the passage of time. The grand halls, adorned with tapestries and coats of arms that paradoxically feel decayed, as if her presence saps life, leaving behind an aura of forgotten beauty and despair. In the deep quiet of the night, when the wind sighs through ancient turrets, subtle sounds permeate the air, a faint, ethereal sigh that seems to carry the weight of centuries of grief. the almost imperceptible rustle of heavy skirts dragging across cold flagstones, or a distant, mournful sob echoing from the unforgiving depths of the stone dungeons below. These are not mere echoes of the past. They are the living manifestation of Catherine's eternal anguish. A profound sense of loneliness and desperation often descends upon those who wander near her preferred haunts. A palpable weight that presses on the chest, accompanied by sudden, penetrating cold spots that defy the warmth of a roaring fire. One might feel an unseen brush against their arm, a fleeting, icy touch, as if the lady, in her unending quest for solace, reaches out for connection, only to withdraw into her perpetual solitude within the eternal confinement of her despair. As dawn grudgingly breaks over the castle walls, casting weak light upon the ancient stones, one is left to ponder, will Lady Catherine ever find the solace she so desperately seeks? Or is she destined to wander these hallowed, haunted halls forever? A solitary sentinel of a tragic love, eternally trapped in a cycle of yearning and sorrow. 13. The Feathers Hotel, Ludlow, England. Within the ancient market town of Ludlow, a jewel of Jacobean architecture stands, its ornate facade a deceptive veil over a history steeped in tragic death and profound loss. This is the Feathers Hotel, a grand edifice whose timbers whisper not of opulent balls, but of a brutal murder and the ethereal cries of unseen children. Here, guests report fleeting glimpses of a woman's shadow, her form indistinct yet undeniably present, often clad in what appears to be archaic servant's attire, disappearing into the dark recesses of hallways or lingering at the periphery of sight. Objects, small and insignificant, are sometimes found moved from their place, a playful, unsettling rearrangement attributed to the hotel's more spectral inhabitants. But it is the auditory phenomena that truly chill the bone, a faint, almost imperceptible weeping that seems to drift from nowhere and everywhere at once. A mournful lament of a woman unnamed, intertwined with the unnervingly clear pitter-patter of tiny, invisible feet scurrying through empty corridors. A profound, unnatural coldness often descends without warning, bringing with it a heavy weight of sorrow and injustice that presses upon the very air. One might feel an unseen presence standing impossibly close, a breath that isn't quite air, a touch that isn't quite human, leaving a lingering, oppressive sense of despair. These spectral echoes are believed to be the cries of a murdered maid and the desperate pleas of the children who shared her tragic fate, their innocence forever tainted by the hotel's dark past. One is left to wonder if the injustice that binds them will ever be appeased, or if their sorrowful wails are destined to reverberate endlessly within these ancient walls. A spectral symphony of enduring grief. 12. Ruthin Castle Hotel, Ruthin, Wales, deep within the verdant, mist-shrouded landscapes of North Wales, stands Ruthin Castle, a fortress whose ancient stones are steeped not merely in history, but in a chilling saga of betrayal and vengeful wrath. This is the domain of Lady Grey, a spectre whose tragedy is as ingrained in the castle's foundations as the very mortar that binds them. Condemned and executed for the heinous crime of murdering her husband's lover, her restless spirit now roams the hallowed halls, a perpetual reminder of a heart consumed by jealousy and a life unjustly cut short. Guests whisper of her fleeting, a spectral presence, a translucent form draped in a somber gray gown, gliding silently through dimly lit corridors and ancient chambers, sometimes even melting through solid stone walls. Her eyes, if one dares to meet them in the shadowy periphery, are said to burn with an eternal and cold resentment. The air around her appearances grows heavy, thick with an inexplicable chill that sinks deep into the bone, a palpable weight of anger and unresolved vengeance. One might hear the soft, almost inaudible rustle of her phantom dress, or a distant, mournful sigh that echoes from the castle's deepest dungeons, a chilling whisper of her unending pursuit of retribution. An unsettling sense of being watched, of an unseen gaze piercing through the gloom, often accompanies the sudden, drastic drops in temperature, leaving visitors with a profound unease. Lady Grey's hatred, it seems, is an unquenchable flame, ever burning, ever seeking. And as dusk descends upon the ancient battlements, one must ask, is her vengeful quest truly unending? Or does she merely await the next unwitting soul to fall victim to her eternal, icy embrace? 11. The Adelphi Hotel, Liverpool, England. Beneath Liverpool's bustling facades, where the echoes of maritime grandeur still linger, stands the Adelphi Hotel, a monument to Edwardian opulence that, beneath its gilded splendor, conceals a labyrinth of whispers and the restless spirits of forgotten tragedies. This grand edifice, a beacon of luxury for over a century, is home to not one, but a spectral ensemble, each entity tethered to its marble halls by a final, desperate breath. Among them, the most frequently encountered are the forlorn boy bellhop, George, whose life tragically ended within these very walls, and a mysterious passenger simply known as Richard, whose abrupt departure from the living realm left an indelible stain upon its lavish carpets. Guests traversing the dimly lit corridors often report fleeting glimpses in polished mirrors, a youthful shadow in an old uniform, a gaunt figure dissolving at the end of a long hallway. The ornate light fixtures have a disconcerting habit of flickering without cause, casting dancing shadows that seem to breathe secrets into the velvet-clad silence. Yet, it is the symphony of the unseen that truly unsettles the phantom chime of a bell that no hand has rung. The hurried to light footsteps of a boy running on an upper floor when no living soul is present. Faint, indistinct murmurs that coil around you, and the almost imperceptible moan of a deeper, unspoken sorrow that seems to emanate from the very stone. An abrupt, profound coldness can seize a room, often accompanied by the unnerving sensation of a gentle, unseen touch, or a sudden, crushing weight that presses down, particularly in the vicinity of rooms where these tragic lives are said to have concluded. The Adelphi, it seems, is less a hotel and more a grand, ornate prison for the perpetually lost, each ghost a silent, sorrowful testament to the myriad human dramas played out within its historic confines. One cannot help but ponder if these tormented souls, forever bound to their luxurious cage, merely exist as echoes of despair, or if new, unseen specters are continuously drawn to this nexus of lingering sorrow, patiently awaiting their moment to reveal themselves to the next unsuspecting guest. 10. The Mermaid Inn, Rye. England, deep within the cobbled labyrinth of Ruthin, where ancient stones still echo with tales of smugglers and brigands, stands the Mermaid Inn, its very foundations steeped in a history of clandestine dealings and dark deeds. Once the infamous haunt of the Hawkhurst gang, a ruthless band of 18th-century smugglers who carved a bloody swathe across the south coast. This ancient inn now offers a different kind of commerce, a chilling communion with its violent past. Here, the air itself feels heavy with unspoken secrets and the lingering menace of men long dead, their spectral presence a constant reminder of the inn's dark heritage. Guests brave enough to sleep within its storied walls often recount waking to disorienting phenomena. Tall, dark figures are frequently seen gliding effortlessly through solid oak doors and stone walls, their forms indistinct, yet undeniably present. Objects shift with unseen hands, bottles clinking softly in the dead of night, only to be found displaced at dawn. Every flickering candle flame seems to cast shadows that stretch and twist into spectral forms, whispering of the many eyes that once watched from the gloom. The auditory landscape is equally unsettling heavy. Rhythmic footsteps thud across empty upstairs corridors. A ghostly procession that never quite reaches its destination. Faint. Guttural whispers can be heard from seemingly vacant rooms, the spectral echo of clandestine conversations, sometimes punctuated by the chilling clink of unseen coin or the metallic scrape of hidden weaponry. An abrupt, profound coldness, devoid of any draft, frequently sweeps through rooms, often accompanied by the unsettling sensation of an unseen hand brushing against skin or a subtle, insistent shove from empty air, as if a spectral brigand is asserting his territorial claim. One cannot help but wonder if these spectral outlaws still guard their ill-gotten gains and their bloody secrets. Forever trapped within the very fabric of their ancient den, are the living merely unwitting trespassers in a timeless game of shadows and subterfuge? Or do these restless spirits resent the intrusion, patiently awaiting their next unwitting victim? Psalm 9. The Red Lion Inn, Avebury, England. In the heart of Wiltshire, where the colossal ancient stones of Avebury stand silent testament to millennia of forgotten rituals and primal energies, lies the Red Lion Inn. This seemingly quaint establishment, nestled within the very embrace of the megalithic circle, is not merely a place of rest, but a custodian of a singular heart-breaking tragedy. The enduring spirit of Florrie, a woman brutally murdered and cast down its well centuries ago. Her spectral presence permeates the inn, a fragile echo of past suffering, forever entwined with the deep, untamed power emanating from the earthbound stones that encircle it. Patrons and staff alike recount fleeting glimpses of a sorrowful figure, often described with disheveled hair and spectral, tear-filled eyes, lingering near the ancient well now encased within the pub itself, or moving through the dim, heavy air of the bar area. The gloom of the inn often deepens inexplicably in certain corners, and small objects on shelves or tables are known to shift, topple, or vanish, only to reappear in unexpected places, a child's game born of endless grief. The air, heavy with the scent of aged timber and ale, is frequently pierced by phantom sounds, a faint, despairing sob that seems to emanate from the very stone, the disturbing splash or unsettling tremor from the depths of the covered well, or the ghost of a profound sigh that hangs in the stillness. A sudden, piercing cold descends without warning, particularly around the well, a chill that seems to cling to the skin and seep into the bones. Visitors have reported the unnerving sensation of a light, unseen touch on their arm, or a subtle, melancholic pressure, as if a hand laden with sorrow is reaching out from the veil. Does Florrie's spirit find any solace within these ancient walls, or is she forever tethered to the site of her violent end? Her despair amplified by the mystical energies of the stone circle, the violent echoes of her past, like the whispers of the ancient stones themselves, continue to reverberate. A chilling reminder that some tragedies are too profound to ever truly fade. 8. The Ettington Park Hotel, Stratford-upon-Avon, England, nestled amidst the ancient woodlands of Warwickshire, where the echoes of history linger like an unspoken vow, stands the Ettington Park Hotel. This magnificent Gothic masterpiece, with its intricate stone carvings and imposing turrets, possesses a beauty both grand and foreboding. Yet, beneath its elegant facade, Ettington Park conceals a spectral population, a haunting collective that weaves a tapestry of unease for all who dare to tread its shadowed halls. Here, the sorrowful figure of a former monk glides silently through stone corridors. An elderly woman sits in melancholic vigil within the grand library, and the fleeting, playful presence of a young girl often makes itself known. Visitors recount bewildering glimpses, the shadow of a cowled figure dissolving into the aged oak paneling, or the distinct impression of being watched by unseen eyes from the deepest recesses of a room. The air in certain areas will suddenly grow heavy, pierced by an inexplicable chill that seems to cling to the skin, followed by the faint, disembodied cough of an unseen elder, or the almost imperceptible tinkle of a child's distant laughter. Mirrors meant to reflect the present sometimes seem to capture fleeting images of the past, a solemn face, a flicker of archaic attire. An oppressive weight can settle upon the chest, a feeling of an unknown presence standing intimately close, even as sight reveals only empty space. Are these myriad souls merely fragments of lives lived and tragically ended, forever caught within the intricate embrace of Ettington Park's timeless beauty? Or do they, each with their own sorrowful tale, yearn for some form of acknowledgement from the transient guests who disturb their eternal slumber? The Drovers Inn. Inverarnan, Scotland deep within the untamed heart of the Scottish Highlands, where mist clings to ancient peaks and lochs hide forgotten secret, stands the Drovers Inn. Since 1705, its rough-hewn stone walls and dim, flickering lights have offered respite to countless weary travelers and the legendary Highland drovers who once herded their cattle through these wild lands. Yet, beneath its rustic charm lies a history steeped in the restless energy of the departed, making it a notorious hotspot for vigorous poltergeist activity that rattles the very foundations of reality. Here, the air itself often thickens with an inexplicable chill that bites deeper than any Highland breeze, frequently preceding the violent slam of doors that were just moments ago ajar, or the sudden, erratic flickering of ancient lights. Guests recount terrifying encounters heavy, phantom footsteps echoing from an empty floor above, their rhythmic thud a chilling counterpoint to the profound silence. A sinister, disembodied cackle might pierce the quiet, followed by the clatter of objects inexplicably hurled across a room, hinting at a powerful, unseen hand. The spectral figures of long-dead drovers, their traditional kilts and weathered faces momentarily visible in the periphery, are said to glide through the bar, their eyes lingering with an ancient, knowing sadness before they dissipate into the shadows. The sensation of being forcefully shoved or pulled by an unseen presence is a common, terrifying report, leaving a lasting impression of profound, almost hostile, surveillance. Are these boisterous spirits merely the lingering echoes of hard lives and sudden deaths? Or are they a potent, volatile force, perpetually bound to this remote inn, ever ready to remind the living that the path through these ancient lands, and indeed, through these hallowed halls, is not theirs alone? 6. Ye Old King's Head, Chester. England deep within the ancient city of Chester, where Roman legions once marched and centuries of history are etched into every cobblestone, stands Ye Old King's Head, this venerable timber-framed inn, its crooked facade whispering tales of a distant past, has served as a guest house and, not in darker times, a notorious brothel. Yet its enduring legacy is not merely architectural. It is a tapestry woven with the restless energies of the departed, Roman soldiers and the forgotten women who once sought solace or survival within its aged walls. Their spectral forms are more than mere echoes. They are perpetual residents. bound to the very timbers and stones, echoing the clash of ancient empire and the furtive whispers of illicit liaisons. Here, the air often carries an inexplicable chill that seems to cling to the heavy oak beams, occasionally mingling with the faint phantom scent of damp earth, old pipe tobacco, or even a spectral perfume. Guests recount chilling encounters, the unmistakable heavy tread of Roman soldiers in spectral armor, their translucent forms sometimes glimpsed marching through closed doors or standing guard in silent, empty corridors. Their unseen eyes seem to hold an ancient, stern vigilance, surveying a world long past. More unsettling are the ethereal women, remnants of the inn's brothel days, whose faint, melancholic laughter or hushed, sorrowful whispers drift from vacant rooms, their shadowy figures flitting through dimly lit passages. Antique garments rustling softly in the profound silence. Objects might subtly shift on their own accord. A cold breath might caress one's neck, or a sudden, inexplicable pressure might descend, as if an unseen hand has pressed against a shoulder, seeking connection or expressing an ancient grief. The distant clash of phantom weaponry, or the ghostly strains of forgotten music can sometimes be heard, weaving a haunting tapestry of temporal confusion. Do these lingering specters, from imperial guards to forgotten women, seek redemption in their endless vigil? Or are they forever trapped within the roles and tragedies that defined their earthly lives, compelled to endlessly replay the haunting final moments of their existence within these ancient, shadowed walls? Their stories, unfinished and unheard, continue to unfold with every creak of the floorboards and every inexplicable chill that permeates ye old King's Head. 5. The Langham Hotel, London, England. Beneath the opulent facade of London's esteemed Langham Hotel, a reputation for luxury intertwines chillingly with the legacy of spectral sorrow, where echoes of grand tragedies refuse to fade. This beacon of Victorian elegance, which has hosted royalty and celebrities, secretly harbors a collection of restless spirits, a proud Napoleonic officer, a despairing doctor who chose a desperate end, and a German prince, forever bound to its gilded halls. Their stories, once vibrant with life and ambition, now ripple through the very fabric of the building, a testament to the fact that not all guests check out. Here, a pervasive chill can descend without warning, an invisible shroud in rooms that seem to absorb all warmth. Guests and staff alike recount the fleeting glimpse of a stoic officer in an ancient uniform, his shadow elongated by the dim light of dawn, or the mournful figure of a man in antiquated medical attire, glimpsed at a window, his silent despair a palpable weight in the air. The faint, rhythmic pacing of heavy boots can be heard from empty corridors. A profound sigh might brush past an unsuspecting ear, or a whisper, perhaps in a forgotten tongue, might dance on the periphery of hearing. An unseen hand might press an oppressive weight upon one's chest, or a cold, lingering touch might send shivers down the spine, particularly within the notoriously haunted room 333, where the spectral prince is said to hold court. The grandeur of the surroundings only sharpens the macabre contrast, making the unseen presences all the more unnerving. Do these noble, tormented souls eternally traverse the opulent spaces, forever tethered to the very magnificence and the poignant tragedies that defined their earthly existence? Or do they merely seek a fleeting moment of understanding, a silent witness from the transient guests who now walk through their eternal home? Oblivious to the spectral drama unfolding around them, the Langham stands, an exquisite gilded cage for the lost. 4. The Jamaica Inn, Bodmin, Moor. Cornwall, England deep within the desolate wind-swept heart of Bodmin Moor, where ancient stones stand as silent witnesses to forgotten rituals and the mist clings like a shroud, lies the Jamaica Inn, immortalized by Daphne du Maurier's chilling tale. This isolated coaching house has long been a sanctuary for smugglers and wreckers, its thick granite walls now echoing not with the revelry of outlaws, but with the spectral whispers of their departed souls. Here, the line between history and horror blurs, as the ghosts of those who plied their dark trade refuse to abandon their illicit haunt. As twilight descends upon the moor, a sudden piercing chill can seep into the inn's ancient tap room, defying the warmth of the roaring fire. Guests often report seeing vague, shifting silhouettes, the spectral forms of men in antiquated, sea-worn attire, materializing from the gloom only to dissolve into the heavy shadows that dance on the walls. The air itself can thicken, carrying the faint, intoxicating scent of stale pipe smoke or a phantom whiff of illicit whiskey, even in rooms long cleared of such earthly pleasures. Footfalls, heavy and deliberate, are often heard creaking down empty staircases, while disembodied whispers, sometimes laced with a chilling, malevolent chuckle, seem to emanate from the very stone, chilling the blood of the living. An unnerving pressure may suddenly weigh upon a shoulder, or a cold, unseen touch might graze the skin, leaving an indelible sense of being watched, hunted by eyes that have seen too much darkness. Do these phantom smugglers and pirates still guard their long-lost treasures and secrets, forever bound to the illicit spoils of their former lives? Or do they merely view the living as unwelcome interlopers, trespassers upon their ancient, cursed domain, patiently awaiting the next unwary soul to stumble into their eternal snare? 3. The Golden Fleece, York, England. Step into the labyrinthine alleys of York, a city whose very cobblestones whisper tales of millennia, and you'll find the Golden Fleece, an ancient public house not merely haunted, but teeming with a spectral populace. Claimed to house over 50 restless souls, this isn't just a place with a ghost. It's a living, breathing tapestry of the dead, where a Roman soldier might brush shoulders with a World War pilot, and the echoes of forgotten women and children fill the oppressive air. To cross its threshold is to step into a perpetual gathering of the past, each spirit a silent, or not so silent, observer. Within the shadowed corners of the Golden Fleece, vague, shifting forms manifest from the gloom, the fleeting glimpse of a Roman centurion, his armor clanking softly in the silence, the forlorn shadow of a young World War pilot, lost in a grief beyond the grave. Lights flicker inexplicably, and objects on the bar, once still, may subtly shift as if nudged by an unseen hand. A cacophony of whispers can rise from empty rooms, a myriad of voices intertwining, some tearful, some angry, others with a chilling, disembodied laugh. Footfalls echo on stairs where no one stands. The jingle of phantom coins resonates, and the distant, unprompted peal of a bell can send shivers down the spine. A sudden, profound chill often descends without warning, touching the skin with an icy caress, sometimes accompanied by the distinct sensation of a gentle nudge or an invisible weight pressing near. In the Golden Fleece, you are never truly alone. Every creak of the ancient timbers, every fleeting shadow, every unexplained murmur could be a lingering story, a tragic memory, or a soul simply awaiting a moment of your undivided attention. What secrets do these countless spirits still guard within their spectral throng? And what might they reveal to the next unwitting guest who dares to listen too closely? 2. The Skirrid Mountain Inn, Abergavenny, wails deep in the shadow-haunted valleys of Abergavenny. Wales stands the Skirrid Mountain Inn, an ancient hostelry whose very foundation stones are steeped not just in ale and merriment, but in the dark, unforgiving history of death. For centuries, its upper floor served as a courtroom, its sturdy oak beam a gallows where over 180 souls met their brutal end by the noose, their last gasps echoing against the very walls where patrons now sleep. This is not merely a place of lingering spirits, but a harrowing monument to relentless suffering, where the condemned refuse to find rest. Even today, the air thins and darkens in those infamous chambers, revealing the faint, shimmering outlines of spectral forms, men and women, their necks bearing the telltale marks of the rope, their eyes wide with perpetual terror. Sometimes, objects tremble violently or fall without cause, as if struck by invisible fists, echoing the frantic struggles of the condemned. The silence here is often ruptured by guttural choking sounds, pained moans that curdle the blood, or the phantom crash of a chair being kicked away. Distant, weak whimpers can be heard, or a disembodied voice might chillingly call your name from the darkest recesses of the inn. An unearthly chill, profound and penetrating, seeps into the bones, particularly near the very spot where the executions took place. Guests report being violently shoved by unseen forces, or, far more unsettling, experiencing the terrifying sensation of a spectral noose tightening around their own throats, a crushing pressure that steals breath and sanity. The air itself feels thick with desperation and pure dread, carrying the faint, metallic scent of ancient blood and decay. The Skirrid Mountain Inn is not merely haunted, it is a living monument to agony, where the echoes of over 180 desperate deaths replay eternally, and the anguish of the condemned yearns to be felt by the living. Dare you walk the same floorboards where so many took their final, agonizing breath, only to remain? One, the ancient Ram Inn, Wotton-under-Edge, England deep in the verdant heart of Gloucestershire, where ancient ley lines converge and the whispers of forgotten pagan rites still cling to the air, stands the ancient Ram Inn, a place not merely haunted, but cursed, built upon a site of pre-Christian sacrifice. Its very foundations drink from a wellspring of primeval malevolence, a nexus where the veil between worlds thins to a gossamer thread. This isn't a dwelling for lost souls seeking peace, but a gateway to something far older, far darker, a place where demons roam freely and the scars of black magic rituals fester. Within its crumbling timber-framed walls, the air itself feels poisoned, heavy with the stench of brimstone and a faint, calm, sickening hint of burnt flesh. Shadows here are not mere absence of light. They are entities that writhe and lash out, moving with an aggressive speed that chills the blood. Visitors report terrifying, fleeting apparitions, distorted faces, hulking figures, and grotesque entities that seem to materialize from the very rot of the wood. Objects are not merely displaced. They are violently hurled across rooms and/or thrown with malicious intent by unseen hands. Lights flicker wildly, or extinguish themselves with a defiant snap, plunging explorers into an oppressive, absolute darkness that seems to breathe. The silence can be broken by guttural growls emanating from empty corners, a chorus of menacing whispers that slither into the mind, or piercing, unearthly screams that defy human origin. Loud, dragging noises echo from above, like some enormous weight being pulled across old floorboard, or sudden, thunderous bangs against the walls, as if something monstrous is desperate to break free. But it is the tactile horror that truly sets the ancient Ram Inn apart. The cold here is not a simple draft. It is a profound, bone-deep chill that invades the very marrow. Guests have been violently shoved, dragged across floors by invisible forces, entombed, or pinned down by an immense, crushing pressure that steals the breath, leaving them gasping in terror. This inn is a vortex of pure, unadulterated evil, a place where the unwary are not just observed, but actively tormented. Step within its ancient confines, and you risk not just witnessing the supernatural, but becoming a victim of its terrifying, unyielding malevolence, forever marked by the darkness that dwells here. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this chilling journey, don't forget to like, comment with your favorite haunted location, and subscribe for more weekly videos from the shadows.